Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we are working on the 38 Plymouth again, and we've got a random shop cat over there. Well, hi kitty. Hi. Anyways, if you like working on cars or cats, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and we've got some good stuff for you. Maybe feline friendly, maybe car friendly. Anyways, if you noticed our thumbnail, yeah, well, simply it's getting cold and we're getting kicked out of the shop because, well, I don't like working in the cold. Filler doesn't like freezing temperatures. Paint doesn't like freezing temperatures. I don't like cold temperatures. So we are going to migrate everything up to the shop. I've been working pretty hard the last, off camera last week or two to get all of our tools boxed up, and then of course have to go back into the boxes of tools to find stuff to work on the car. I've probably got maybe another week or so down here before everything gets shoveled up to the garage. So we've also been doing a lot of work to clean up the garage and make some more usable space for us up there. But if you notice, there are some more parts missing off the Plymouth. And again, more stuff off camera. I've got a little bit of time lapse coming up. But in short, we've gone ahead, removed the other running board over here on the passenger side. Right there. Our fender here, and also our fender over on the driver's side. Now that's going to allow us to A, knock the dents out of those, and B, we found more rust. But most pressing issue now is I need to get those off so I can get the rest of this front end off and this cowl so I can get the trim pieces off for the grill. This piece here, I believe, this piece here, and then some of this stuff down here is going to go to the chromers. Hopefully take that up to them in the next couple of days here. Probably by the time you see this video, I will be in the pickup going up to the chrome shop in St. Paul, J&D Custom Plating, and see how good of a job they do. Been around for years. Uncle has used them. Probably drag up the bumpers for the Challenger, probably for the 52, and see what Gary and the team can do up there for us. Anyways, let's go drop into that time lapse for taking off these bumpers, and we'll come back. So as I'm taking off these front fenders, the driver's side, of course, we learned a lot for the passenger side, you'll see here, but there is more rust. Not bad, it's just things you would not have discovered if you were just simply going to paint over everything in place on the vehicle. So since we did go ahead and take everything off here, as you can see, we found some more issues. So let's take a look. Alrighty, so here on the driver's side, you can see we've got some, well, this was supposed to come off with the fender. It did not. So we have some rust here to deal with. You know, nothing bad, but just something that if you just started to paint what was already here, the paint would not stick around too long, and we'd end up spending a lot of time and a lot of effort, a lot of money from the customer and the job would be less than good in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead, clean this up here. There's more like critters have been back in here. There's fluff and fur and feathers and stuff. Get this whole area cleaned up. Cut out this section, put it back in. Saw before the running boards. Here's more of those angle iron that was welded on. That's got to come off. Was not done on the passenger side. Here's a good shot of the engine. So this is actually in really good shape. It has been redone, converted to 12 volts, as I've explained earlier. I've got to go look at the starter. It was letting the magic smoke out when I tried to start it and move it the last time. So we'll see. I understand that was not rebuilt when the rest of the engine was, so maybe that needs it. Otherwise, we've got more stuff to clean up here. That's kind of a given. The front shocks, one of them is leaking, so we're going to order a new set of those, probably off of Burn Bombs, and get those sent over here and replaced when we put everything back together. You know, it looks pretty good and pretty solid otherwise underneath. We've got our headlights again, those are coming off, getting retrofitted with 12 volt LEDs. Here's where the fun's going to begin to get the extra little bit of hardware off. I'd like to try and take this entire whole front cowl off. I don't know if that's going to work, but that's kind of my goal. Here is our passenger side, looks pretty good. I did notice that this here for the exhaust is broken, so may talk to the owner and see if we can get that fixed as well. Figure as long as we're in here with all these skins and everything out of the way, why not take care of what we can see? Again, we've got some rust down here and more critter stuff. So we'll probably be addressing that. Again, just this little patch here. These are good, but again, you know, they're kind of crusty. So if you would have gone to the time and effort to just clean up this area and forgotten about this, give it a year or two, this surface rust will start creeping through, and before you know it, your paint job looks like garbage. The two fenders are off, and looking at them from this angle, you know, if you were to make a really giant motorcycle, here's your tank, the straddle, a couple of handlebars up here. Brum, brum, brum. Yeah, that's a little excessive. Anyway, what I want to do is go ahead, get these hood pieces off, go ahead and work on getting the rest of this front cowl off of here for the nose, get the chrome pieces off. You can't really see in here, yeah, either with the GoPro either, but there's a handful of pieces of hardware in there that need to come off. And I thought just getting off these sides would help with that. It does to a point, but this front piece has to come off anyways for paint, because again, we've got rust down here to deal with. And I want to make sure we're going as deep as we can, or as deep as, you know, feasible or sensible for this project. And get it ready for paint. Because again, the engine's pretty, the engine's cleaned up. There's no sense to do all the work just to have parts of it start to fail and look poor in a couple of years. That is not the type of job that I want to do, and I wouldn't want to give something that is not the type of job that I want to do. It's not the type of job that I would want to receive as a customer. So again, try and do the best we can with what we've got, and if we don't have it, we go get it, like the English wheel. Anyways, let's go ahead and start trying to tear down this front end and get that off and get the parts off the chrome. Well, it's a new day here. It is 45 degrees and raining outside. I should have gone up to the garage. Anyways, before I freeze, I'm gonna get this hood off and we'll see if we can't get this front whole cowl thing off the car. I'll pan down in a minute so you can see it. But I want to get this off first because that's got to come off anyways. Alrighty, that is off. Let me go ahead and grab all my hardware. A lot of this hardware may be reusable, especially if we cleaned it up. But as you've already seen, some of it is just not worth saving. Good old Sharpie here. Hood. Hardware. Look at that. So when I go to put it all back together, I know where the parts are. More junk in the trunk. Now, let's take a look at this whole grill assembly over here. Hold on. So we've got a couple of bolts here for our headlights. Not too worried about that right now. Horns on the driver's side. The important thing is there are some screws with some tape, with some nuts behind them that I want to get off because I want to get to this piece here, down the front of here, and these pieces, because that's what's going to the chromer. So let me just fiddle around here and see what I can't get off. Alrighty, well I've got my my socket here. What is it, a good old 3/8 here for the underside. But unfortunately I brought all my screwdrivers, at least my blades, back up to the garage. So I guess Leatherman time. Unless I thought maybe I would have left one in the 52, but I guess not. Either way, we'll see if we can knock these loose. Maybe I should have put the camera on the other side so you're not looking at my crap. Hello. As I was saying, you were looking at my good side. Alrighty, we've got those off, which that will help us some here. We've got this guy under here, and some of these are straight blade through the backside, and some of them are nuts. So we're just gonna see what happens, and this one so far is coming off easily. Okay, we got one. Time to go get a real screwdriver. Well, it's still raining outside pretty good, so I went and got the Leatherman out of the pickup. Take two. Alrighty, well I ended up going down a rabbit hole, taking more stuff off the front here, trying to get this whole front piece off, but turns off there's a couple of rusted nuts down here, which not gonna happen. So I went back to trying to get this piece out, and after finding my little short stubby up in the garage, it's a whole lot easier. I got this front piece off here, I got the ornament off up here, and we should be getting our last screw out here. Maybe. Maybe. Well. I prefer not to drop it into the abyss, but hey. There we go. Now, if I knew how this came out, other than not easily. Hey, more stuff here. Well, that was a Phillips. part of one. Yeah. This is chrome, so I need to get this off, hopefully. This is chrome here, down here, that also needs to come off. So let's see if I can get this out here. There we go, that piece is out. Overall, it's in pretty good shape. I don't think this is gonna get sent to chrome. Not much of this is chrome. I'll be able to polish up the front of these. I have this grill. This looks like it was sprayed black. Or maybe the original car color, who knows? We'll take a look at that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get this thing cleaned up. That won't be a big deal. Send them over here. Now, most importantly, the Leatherman I lost last night. This one goes back in the pickup. The other one goes in my pocket. Now under here, I think we have more straight blade screw heads. Yep. Let's see if little Stubby will get in there. Ooh. I'm going to need an even shorter, even stubbier screwdriver than this. So I'll have to find those so I can get this off, which then maybe we'll release these pieces somehow. I guess if I can't get these off, I'd like to get them off just because they are pitted, and as long as you're doing the rest of the stuff up here that's pitted, I'd really like to get them off. These are not actual chromed. It's like polished stainless, whatever your regular trim is. So I'm not worried about these. So I'll have to find a screwdriver to get those off. The other big thing I've got to get off is the hinges for the trunk. Alrighty, we're back in the trunk, under the trunk, I guess. And the last thing to take off is our two hinges. There's a handful of 7/16 hardware to come off. And that's the last thing I have to do to remove chrome, to go to the chromer. Well, by the time you see this, the parts should probably be at the chromer, going through that process. Yeah, after I moved the camera back here, I went back, I found something even shorter and stubbier for those couple of screws up front, and I was able to get the rest of that hardware off. The little trims down the side and that badge down at the very bottom. So the front end is all good to go to chrome. We are not redoing the latch itself. That is actually in near perfect condition, so no reason to take that to chrome. We have this here will hold up the trunk. That also is a 7/16. So I'm going to go ahead, let you look at my butt a little longer, and take off two of these, loosen the other ones, and then loosen everything underneath. So I can pretty much just finger loosen, take everything out by hand, and be able to grab this thing when it comes loose. Oh, there's a random straight blade screw back here too. Well, that's neat. Mr. Stubby. Those don't really appear to do anything. They may be starting guides or something, but they're really not helping anything. All right. I'm not too worried about the trunk right here because that is getting reworked. There are some dents in there, so I'm not going to abuse it, but if it sits on the floor here for a few minutes, that's just fine. Little trunk seals here are in good shape. Oh, what's underneath here? On somewhere around here, I hear Shop Cat. Okay, one hinge. There we go. So here, hi kitty. So here's both the hinges for the trunk. Those are off. There is a badge, a Plymouth badge here. This is going to stay. It is not pitted, it is not really damaged, so we're going to polish that up. No need to redo that if it's not needed. Oh, hi kitty. Go and see if we can see the kitty. Oh, hi there, kitty. There's Shop Kitty. Okay, or not. Anyways, I was saying we've got all of our chrome pieces off, except the ones that aren't getting re-chromed, I guess. So let's quick set everything out, make sure we've got it all. We'll get it all boxed up. We'll get the hardware taken off, cataloged, Ziploc baggies, so when it comes back, we know what goes back where or what we have to buy and replace. A lot of those small little 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch straight blade screws, they're rusted, they're just horrible, so we'll go ahead, we'll replace those, probably put just a little dab of blue Loctite in there, especially with the exposed screws like on the bumpers. What's your thought? Do we go ahead and put ugly lock washers back on there, whatnot, or do we just do some nicer hardware, a fender washer, and then a nut with a little bit of blue thread lock on there? So it's not going to come off, and it looks a little cleaner, in my opinion, than lock washers. Let me know. Alrighty, well here are the parts that we're going to send to chrome. We've got all of our grill parts here. Front end, our front bumper, I've still got to pull a little rub nubbies off, whatever you want to call them, guards, and then the rear bumper is good to go. Not all horrible, but it's more than you're going to clean up just with some polish and compound. So we'll get these back, and it'll be super clean. And who do we have under here? Oop, Shop Cat. There she is. And I think that is going to do it for this episode. We will come back. I don't know. We've got the Plymouth, we got the 52, we got the 72 back there. Plenty of stuff to work on, figure out for parts. I know I've got some welding to do, get the rest of those rear patch panels in on the 52. 72, we're waiting for 1/4 panel and an engine pull. This, I can probably start getting to work on the doors, the hood, the fenders, all that stuff, and get that body work done. That can be done up in the garage, which probably is next time you're gonna see me is in the garage. So until then, thanks for watching. plenty of stuff going on here, just not enough time. Like, share, subscribe, turn on that post notification bell, and we'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.